This system came to us in the modern times by occultist Paul Foster Case, founder of the BOTA, the Builders of the Adytum Esoteric Society. Now, I don't think he invented this system. I think he's just basically your modern channeler to bring it forth. In any case, Case is regarded by many as a expert on the tarot, and the system that he put forth to his initiates is quite illuminating. So we're going to use it. Now, here's how you arrange the tarot cards. And obviously we're working with just the major arcana, the first 22 cards. And you have to have the BOTA cards. The design is slightly different from the more popular Rider-Waite deck. Many of the cards are the same, but there's a few differences which are nevertheless important. So be sure to always use the BOTA deck. Now you might ask, why is this deck more accurate? Let's just say that Case was in contact with what he called the masters, and a lot of his material came from them, and we must trust that he had access to the more secretive, hidden, or esoteric versions of the true tarot that was used by the ancient mystery schools. So that's what we have here before us. Most notably, you'll see that card 13 and card 19 are quite a bit different from the average decks. Also, key 8 and key 11 have been switched. Key 8 is strength, and 11 judgment have been switched. And this is the true order. Now, let's get to the first stage of spiritual unfoldment as presented by the tarot cards when you arrange them in what's called the Tarot Tableau. So the Tarot Tableau is when you arrange the cards in this way, with the Fool card up at the top. That's card 0, representing deity or super consciousness, or even your higher self if you want. And the rest of the cards are arranged 1 through 7, row 1, 8 through 14, row 2, and 15 through 21, row 3. So 7, 7, 7. And you'll notice that, well, first, we must say that the first row represents the principles of consciousness. The second row represents the laws or agencies in which these principles manifest. And the final row represents the effects, or the end result of those principles acting through those laws. Okay, so looking at the 7 columns now, we have 7 stages of spiritual unfoldment. Notice it's not called spiritual attainment because you don't ever really finish this process. It's sort of ongoing. So it unfolds itself as you learn more about yourself spiritually, but there's no real end. Even when you get to the last stage, stage 7, you then kind of go back to stage 1. And you kind of whirl around in a spiral pattern. But the goal is to keep whirling through it, and each time moving at on a higher plane, and not getting stuck in the grooves of any one step or stage. So this is about breaking habit patterns through the symbolism of the tarot. Okay, so now that we have our introduction, let's get into the first stage of spiritual unfoldment. So that would be keys 1, 8, and 15. And right away you can see that this arrangement, this tarot tableau, is the real deal. It's not contrived. It's not just random playing around with the cards. You can tell it's designed for this because you can see that the Magician card and the Strength card, both these characters have the infinity symbol above their heads, linking them together. So there's a match. And of course, there's many other matches, many other cases of evidence that we can point to that show that this system, this tableau arrangement, is the real deal. It's built in. So, stage 1 represents bondage. And we can see bondage clearly with key 15, the devil card, how he's got the man and woman representing Adam and Eve, or generic humanity, in chains, right? Bondage, chains. But if you look closely at the chains, you can see that at any time, the man and woman can lift the chains and remove them. They're not tied down very, very well. You just pull them up over their heads. What is this saying? So this is actually saying that mankind keeps themselves in chains, tied to Satan, tied to the devil, by choice. Now, why would we do that? Well, because the devil really represents appearances, surface level reality, which is not even really reality, it's more of an illusion. Like the surface of a pond giving you a reflection, and you think that that's all that there is, ignoring the depths below the pond. So the devil card, card 15, corresponds with the Hebrew letter ayin. And I always found it interesting that the letter ayin has the word I in it. So there's a linkage right there. Now the word ayin Kabbalistically signified the eye, so there it is. Again, every Hebrew letter has a symbolic meaning in addition to its phonetic meaning. So ayin means the eye, and so what is the eye pointing us to? Surfaces, surface level reality. And that's what's keeping us in chains. We're just obsessed as we go about our day with mundane surfaces, appearances. All that has to be transcended for those of us on the spiritual path. The occult path is all about going beyond surface level details, going beyond appearances, beyond the senses, to the supersensory spiritual realities. Now, how is this done? So that's where we get key 1 and key 8, the principle and the agency that breaks the bondage. So key 1, the magician, represents attention, or concentration, or self-consciousness. Now just a real quick aside there. Key 0, key 1, key 2 are, in my opinion, the most 3 important keys because they represent superconsciousness, that's the fool, self-consciousness or waking consciousness, that's the magician, and then number 2, the high priestess, is subconsciousness. So she kicks in during sleep, during dreams. That's the high priestess. That's her realm. But going back to key 1, the magician, acting through key 8, the law or agency of strength. Now, what do you see here with the strength card? It's a woman taming a wild beast. The lion, she's got it tamed. Look at that. She's got her hand opening its mouth. She's not afraid of the beast. So this represents mastery over the lower animal drives of the body. Hi. So putting it all together now, we have key 1, attention, concentration, acting through the law of strength that is over the animal drives. So when you put your attention to transcending the lower passions, the lower drives, and the surface level sensory information that floods our system all day, every day, that's when you transcend bondage. That's when you remove the devil's chains and undergo the first stage of spiritual unfoldment.